Hey, so today I'm hobbying and I've got a nice little project that I'm working on. One of those things that brings me joy when I'm doing my models, finishing my models. I don't really actually like doing bases and stuff, but I do enjoy making banners. So today I'm making banners and I wanted to show you guys how I do that. And then maybe also show you guys a couple of banners that I've already made. So here is a bunch of different examples. Here we have this is my Ukrainian partisans movement tray with their lovely war banner, the red and black Ukrainian fascist banner from the UPA in the 1940s. I've also got a Cossack equipped with the same banner. And it's a nice little splash of color, isn't it? In an otherwise very dreary brown, grey, green World War II thing. Here's one I've been working on lately. Coming along nicely. It still needs a little bit of work, the banner itself. I'm gonna have to paint a little bit of the edges as well. But, you know, it's getting there. It's a Hungarian cavalryman. And some other banners that I made recently for my Mortimer's Cross game. Here are two dudes with Yorkist banners. And finally, what I'm doing today, I am building on my American Civil War Confederate army. So here we have a dude with the Confederate battle flag. And I'm going to show you how I make these. It's very, very easy, and it's a really nice little addition of color and live to your miniatures, I think. So I include as many banners as I possibly can get away with. So the main thing that you need is you need a color printer. So this is just regular paper. I have printed out in a bunch of different scales Confederate battle flags, basically. So that's one thing you need. I would suggest that you start by printing them in black and white, and then as you find the right scale to your miniature, just simply hold up the miniature. Just let me show you. So here we have a bunch of Confederate flags. I took one of my minis and held him up so I could sort of see, well, it sort of fits with the pole. If I cut out this one, he can have that on his pole. That should work fine. Then that is the scale. I don't really care about the true scale. Most of these banners that I'm making are a lot bigger than they would be in real life. And that is because once you get to the table, it looks really weird if you have those rather small banners that are scaled appropriately for true scale miniatures. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm going to make banners for a couple of my infantrymen, for my Confederates, and a couple of my cavalry dudes. Let me take you down. Here are the models that I'm going to be working with. So two of these, I believe they are Perry miniatures or maybe Warlord games. One is a Suave, it's going to be a Louisiana Tiger dude, and the other just going to be a regular Confederate infantryman. And then these two, I think, are Perry miniatures. I've slightly modified the way one of them is holding his banner, so that he's sort of leaning that on his shoulder. So yeah. Now, for the cavalry, I of course need cavalry flags. So I'm going to grab myself some of these Confederate flags. Let me see which ones I want. I think I want these ones. And since I have two dudes, I want the flags to be rather different. I don't want them to be too similar, if that makes sense. I want the two units to stand out. So I'm going to have one that's the Confederate battle flag in the cavalry form, and one that's a more state flag here. I can't remember what that flag actually is. I think it's just a Confederate flag. It may not be a state one. Yeah. So basically, once I've picked them out from my just regular print here, I cut them. And you don't need to be super precise here. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong, and there's a lot that is going to change once you get them on the miniature and get them glued up, because the way that you make these look all wavy and natural and stuff is by dipping them in PVA glue. So we're gonna do that at some point, right? Right now, I just need them to be cut out. And quite often, once I have the flag actually attached and I've made my nice wavy forms, I will then actually paint it a little bit to brighten up the colors, to have some colors that sort of have a little bit of that highlight going on that you want on your flags. I'm cutting out one more of these Confederate battle flags here for my infantry dudes. And of course it helps if your 3D printer and the file that you're printing is, if the image is kind of detailed and stuff. But if it's not, I mean, at that scale, who cares? And a lot of mistakes can be corrected, as I said, with paint and glue. Right, so I have 4 battle flags for my miniatures here. That is it. Now for the gluing part. So I use a very old, very dirty plate. I put a bit of a glob of glue down. I have some water and a destroyed paintbrush, which I'll then add, and I'll add that to the white side of the flag here. More where the flagpole needs to go, because this is what will attach it to the model. So I put down my model where the flagpole needs to go, and I just fold over the flag. Now at this point comes a bit of artistry. So here we have the flag now. My Louisiana Tigerman. But the flag is very square, right? So at this point we need to bend the flag, and quite often it will bend at an angle to the topmost pole, so I'm trying to do that. And look at that. We have a flag that's sort of wavy. And you can bend it quite a lot, although at some point it will start to break down. It is just paper. It's not that... so please don't overhandle your flags. But they can take quite a bit of bend to start with. So that was one. Second one. Same process. Glue on the inside of the flag, most of it where the pole is going to go. Laying down the pole, laying down the flag, folding it over. And then we go bendy. Now you'll notice that there are white lines along the edges. That is what I want to correct later on with a bit of paint. So I'll go over this flag with a bit of red and a bit of blue and just make sure the edges are nice and neat. I may also go over it with the scissors, cutting it up a little bit so there's battle damage on the flag, depending on how I feel that day. That's two flags. Now the cavalry ones. Same deal. I need a bit of glue. There we go. Now I wish I knew what is supposed to, the white is supposed to be the top. Okay. Right, here we go. So again, most of the glue where the pole needs to go, and then all the way to the edges. Here we go. Now, this banner sort of hangs a bit, doesn't it? Because, folding over, and here I need the points to line up a little bit, as much as possible. It won't be perfect, but the banner is supposed to hang a little bit, right? Because he's leaning it over his shoulder. So I'm going to fold it up quite a lot here. Maybe it's all folded. Like that. Neat, isn't it? That looks kind of cool. Droopy and cool. Yep. And the final banner, that'll just be a Confederate battle banner for cavalry here. He does look like he's riding a bit, this dude, so the banner will be a little wavy because it's snapping in the air here. And this is always the fiddly part, the part where I try to make it look a little natural, the movement of the banner, and seeing with my dumb fingers, but you know, it gets there. It gets there. There we go. And that is 4 more banners done for my Confederates. You should do the same with your bolt action stuff, I think. It looks neat, it looks nice. Yeah, it's not very historical, but oh my god, does it brighten up your palette once you have those banners on the tabletop. That's my suggestion for today. That's my hobby tip for you. See you next time. Cheers.